Hey people, guys, I've just been privileged to have my first ever Australian waterfowl hunting experience, and man, it's been an exciting few days. Totally different. It's starting something from a complete 101. Shotgun shooting, something I'm totally not used to. Shooting game out of the air. Oh my goodness, I just loved it. Look, obviously, total beginner. You're going to see a novice have his first crack, and first crack at the game cooking too, which I'm pretty stoked how it turned out. But guys, if anyone's got something constructive to add, chuck it in the comment section below, and I'm just really keen to read some of that and just keen to learn as much as I possibly can, because I'm going to do a lot of duck hunting this year. Now, some of you are going to be thinking, Profty, there's no duck seasons right now. What are you up to? I'm like, well, no, New South Wales has a native game bird management plan, and I'm going to elaborate on that shortly. Just watch the video and find out. And I don't want to be rubbing in an opportunity that not many people have. This is actually something that every Australian duck hunter can access. I'm interested in getting into duck hunting right now because it's become a political issue. I'm not going to get too political about it. I'm just going to get into duck hunting hard, and I'm going to discover and share all the good reasons why this should be something that continues for generations into the future. Guys, I've had so much fun over the last couple of days. I've got poultry in my game diet now. This is fantastic. Please join me, see what you reckon. Again, and just myself today. The other day was later in the afternoon. I've come here at midday, allowing myself a good couple of hours just to see what changes. Ducks moving in, ducks grazing around. There's heaps of feed for them at the moment. The wood ducks are the biggest problem, and wood ducks do like to graze on pasture a lot. That's their main diet. So I won't just be looking at the dams, I'll be looking at the edges of the dams and also some of the crop areas where this farm in particular has been trying to regenerate paddocks, which I think is wonderful. And the ducks have just been smashing them. It's not so much about like, alright, cool, there's a problem, let's kill every duck. But let's give them a rude shock, move them out of the way, move them on if necessary by just consistent shooting. And the byproduct of that is a fuller freezer. So that's wonderful. Anyway, see what's going on. Since the rain, I'm definitely going to need some foot protection, and the old sogginess, and yeah. So the way I can be getting away with shooting these ducks in New South Wales, a state without a season, is because there's a native game bird management program. It's because sometimes, in fact quite often in certain settings, ducks can be a real problem for agriculture. The vast majority, well over 90% of all this hunting, is on the rice fields down in the Riverina. That's where most of it happens, and they have big shoots too. Very large quotas and very large bags, because where else would a duck want to be with fresh feed and shallow water? It's heaven for them. Big drama for the farmer. So obviously I'm not on a rice field right now. I'm on a smaller property where they're trying to regenerate some of these paddocks, which the wood ducks in particular have been stuffing up big time. But also during the drought, which is just before these rains have come and broken it all, one of the dams, which was getting quite low, was disgustingly fouled by many waterfowl. But no, they were causing dramas. But it's funny, since the rains have come, they've spread out and they've been picking on the freshly sown crops more so. Some of the crops that they've been picking on are actually there. There's like 6 or 7, maybe more, different seeds shotgunned around the place to help regenerate those paddocks, which I think they'll turn in as green manure or allow for a more sustainable style of grazing. Either way, the point is, these owners here aren't here just to waste all these ducks, but they do need the ducks kept away. Jumping the dam, there might be 100 on there. I might get a couple of ducks out of it. The point is that they've been shot at, they've been moved on, they've been told they're not welcome. That in itself is enough mitigation in the meantime. But we'll see what they reckon in the long term. Every single time I shoot, you got to diarise it and then report it. Same as the online booking system for an R license. That data has to go back to the DPI. Those numbers are also important because these landowners will have quota that they're allowed to take, which we won't we're not going to reach that, but they need to know it anyway. Especially if other shooters come and interested in being part of this, well, they need to know that that quota has been reduced by other shooters. They need to keep a tally of all that kind of thing. So yeah, it's pretty strict that way, and I've got no problem with that. So I'll be filling this out at the end of each day. We're allowed to shoot wood duck, Pacific black duck, and grey teal. And they're the only ducks that we've seen here, so that's great. And there's a quota for each of those. If we see any other species of duck, no matter if they're allowed in other duck seasons down in Tas, Vicar SA, in the Northern Territory, doesn't matter. Only those 3 species may be hunted, and that's not a drama, because we're only seeing those 3 species. Anyway, 0 more fucking round. I'm going to start making my way up this creek line, and just seeing if we can see some from a distance, a bit like spot and stalk for deer even, and then try and make a bit of a plan to get into a shooting position, or see if they can be scared back down the creek, where there's a bit of a shooting lane. Yeah, knock a few off. This is going to be a wonderful change to the diet. It's going to be great. What you're going to see in this next flight of ducks coming through is a rifle shooter graduating the wrong way into shotgun shooting. It's my instinct to aim. It's my instinct to look down that barrel. So obviously, flight of ducks coming across, I'm pointing straight at them. I'm not leading properly. I'm looking straight down the barrel rather than pointing. Yeah, the shot sails well beneath. That's just a habit I've really got to correct ASAP with a bit of practice. Here they come. Oh, down. Very good. Well, another beautiful teal. I'll tell you what, from the others that I had from the other day, I reckon 1 good Pacific black would make up 2 teal, meat-wise. But that's fine. That was just a really good little rise off the pond there, and she gave me an ideal shot. 20 meters at the moment is my absolute maximum range. Absolute maximum. That's fine. I'll increase that with practice and time. But I also found that cruising up this creek here, not only is it a good tactic, but damn, that's exciting shooting. It's no different to stalking deer. I've always got that alert duck. There's always that duck with his fucking head up. Now guys, to get the best out of this next piece of footage, please watch it in a big screen or a full screen if you can. What you're also about to see me do is shoot 2 ducks off the side of the dam. Now, this is a mitigation exercise. I've got my host behind me watching over my shoulder, and I'm here to help him out mitigating ducks. In a duck swamp or a recreational duck hunting situation, shooting sitting ducks, I know, is not a sporting thing to do. It's not fair chase, unless you are maybe swatting an injured bird or something like that. This situation is different. The pressure's on me to actually get a few ducks down, to actually make some difference. Those ducks were sitting at the edge there, out of the view of the cattle, so bang bang, sorted out 2 wood ducks. I was very, very lucky to get a passing flock of teal, knock one out of the air as well. Check it out, have a look. But that's the situation here. Oh, thank you, wood ducks. Aren't you a fair bit bigger? I really like getting a male and female pair. Something to make sense about that. And hopefully a chestnut teal. Not a chestnut, a bloody grey teal. Can't shoot them. Oh, winner duck dinner. And another grey teal, so 2 greys, 2 woods. It's going to feed a lot. This is a bit of learning, it's what it came to. But trial and error, a bit of working it out, and a great harvest. Well, it's a bit windy, so you might not hear too much of what I'm going to say. But I'll just put this here. A good 3 ducks. 2 woodies, a breeding pair, and a nice I keep saying chestnut teal, that's because I want one day. Grey teal, nice grey teal. Anyway, good size on these wood ducks. People keep calling them wood ducks. They are in fact a goose. They are a maned goose. You can see from the shortness in the beak there, that's actually one of the key goose characteristics. You get a standard kind of duck shape like this, nice duck bill, and then you get the shovel at times. This is good, it's just a bit of trial and error there. It took a little bit to get us to this moment. I'm thinking, geez, belly crawling towards a dam for some ducks? Well, wasn't it worth it? You know, I got within the range that I can accept with my shotgun. And it just kept them all concentrated there. It was a target-rich environment, that's for sure. Just really interesting though, like how petite these teal are compared to the wood ducks. But you might not see that here as I'm presenting them on camera. It's just the weight. Double at least. And a proper feed to bring home to people. Not saying that teal isn't a great feed to bring home to people, I'm saying that you might need a couple to make it worthwhile. But there's lots of them, and you know, if I increase my skills at all this, well, I might be shooting a few more. Anyway, no more mucking around. I'm going to take the time now to pluck these ducks. It's just that thumb at the base, pulling forward. Get the major feather, then you get the down underneath it. Now I've got a special way of dealing with that down a bit later. As long as I get the main stuff off first, try and be as efficient about it as possible. 1 pellet through the breast. Alright, can't help that. Just it died well. Yeah, as you can see, like, you just get into a bit of a rhythm with it. I don't want to talk like an expert here. I'm glad it's a bit windy too, because that's really helping me with the excess, because if it was a bit of a damp day, the stuff would be sticking everywhere. The down particularly, the fluff. If you were just out there on a duck swamp, leave 1 wing, and that's no loss of meat by the way, it's just bone there. If you leave 1 wing on, you can see that, if you've done your waterfowl identification test, is a wood duck. Nice white underwing. You can notice that when they're flying. Just how much that stands out. I'm going to gut this now, and all that extra fluff I'm going to deal with at home, and I'll show you how I do it. Buster, it's nice to finally be using it, bro. Thanks, man. Get my hand all the way in, and you feel the underneath of the breastbone there. So fingers all the way in and out. And a few. Oh yeah, they've got the lungs as well. That feels like heart. And out. Always a little messy. That's alright, here's what it is. I'm also going to take this neck off, the esophagus, because that's got just the grass and stuff it's been feeding on. Similar with the gut sac, you just don't need that kind of thing getting in the way. All good. Nice. Alrighty, I'm keen to wrap up the preparation of these ducks so I can actually have a crack and eat them. Now, we don't need legs and we don't need wings anymore, so I'm going to get into that. Some people have game shears, which are far more efficient for this task. I've got a pair of these from Bunnings. This is just helping me crack through a bit of bone there, like that. this just for some more delicate stuff, so some kitchen scissors. That's off, and then on the wing here, this being the first time I've duck hunted, I want to try and just see what my absolute maximum utilisation can be, and then I'll understand what's also practical long run. But right now, just try and get to the knuckle here, behind the wing. That's good, just a bit of sinew, so these are a bit easier. Nice. And always there's just heaps and heaps of these little down feathers still. Now, as you can see, on these 3 ducks I'm going to serve them whole. That last one was just clipped right through the back gut sack, and I'm going to try and salvage the breasts off it, but I'm not going to have a go at the whole carcass with that one. Still got plenty of that little bits of down there. It's just a pest of a thing, yeah. Like, I mean, you just keep plucking at it, but you'll always leave a little bit of something. And a better solution is to get one of these little blowtorch setups. But this has 2 purposes. Like, for some people getting the down off, you could just get a really wet towel and just keep rubbing at it until the majority comes off. But I'd like to do it this way and singe it, because not just getting rid of that down. I really love the idea of crispy duck skin. I think a lot of people like that. It's just different with a wild duck. This is nothing like a Peking duck. Much lower fat content, but also just that flesh will dry out so much quicker. With ducks, you can cook them rare to medium rare. There is not a salmonella risk like there is with chicken. It's not that. It's not the same animal. And I've had that confirmed by lots of different sources. But so in the interest of trying to get a crispier skin to it, I really need to, pull that moisture content out of the skin. And we want to try and not overcook the actual flesh itself, so that it doesn't completely drop all of its moisture and go really tough and livery and a bit strange. So, without further ado, I'm going to start singeing this one. Come on, Bunnings. There we are. See the little blue flame there? And I'm just going to literally give all those hot spots, I'm literally going to give all the little concentrated spots of down a real good go, and then I'm going to finish off by actually just, especially on that breast side of the meat, just really trying to give it a bit more attention without trying to cook it. I'm not trying to cook it, I'm just trying to dry it out a little bit, with the hope that when I pull it out of the oven from its roast, that it'll have a crispier skin. Yeah, that skin really is starting to get a little bit dry there. I don't want to go too much further because, again, not out to cook it just yet. Just have to really get all those extra feathers off. A few more of those little the bases of those feathers. Just a little bit more on the old inside. Well, that's the first go anyway. I'm going to do this little teal now. Delicate. Again, I'm going to get those few little feather bases that have still started to stay in there, probably because of my bad plucking technique. And if there's a firmer clump of down that I can just get out with my fingers, I'll do that. And into it. Alrighty. Yeah, now that skin's already started to dry out a bit, which is nice. Happy with that. Alrighty. Guys, cooking wild duck is a new thing for me. Cooking wild poultry of any kind is a new thing for me. So I'm going to have a go. What I've done so far is I've got my whole wood duck and I've salted it, and that's, I mean, obviously it's nice to have a bit of seasoning, but I've also done that just to help draw out a little bit more moisture just from the skin on top. And just because I've still got that fantasy of crispy skin, I guess I'll find out shortly whether that's going to work or not. What I'm going to do in a moment is I'm actually going to just in a hot pan, just sear this duck. Just sear the outside, and again, that's just to try and give a bit of crisping up on the outside. Not trying to cook it all the way through, just a hot pan with oil, just give it a bit of brown on each side, and then we'll put it in the oven for 10 minutes. And I want to just be very restrained on that timing to see how it goes. Guys, if you have, there's going to be a lot of you that have far more experience than I do in all of this. Please chuck some suggestions and ideas down below in the comments, because I'd love to hear from them. This is just a big 101, look at me, I'm a beginner video. Alrighty, hot and fast, got some oil in there already. Well, that should be enough. Timer set for 10 minutes. In with the quacker. Hopefully out with dinner. Minutes is up. I'm going to just... Oh, that does actually smell really good. And leave you just up here to rest. And I'll give it 5 just to settle itself before I think about carving it and having a chew. Alright, one more hit with a junkie blowtorch. Just for one optimistic chance of maybe some crispy skin. And that should be enough. In a mug. And what have we got here? Oh, okay. That's good. So it's not raw red, it's just that rare to medium rare. Just cutting down that breastbone there. Oh, I think that's good. I think that's good. That's what I was hoping for anyway. Just that light pinkness. Oh, that's ripper. I'm going to just cut these into strips down here this way. To be the first. A little bit rarer towards the middle. I can always just give it a quick pan fry if I really want to. So I'll leave there. I'm going to need to pan fry that just a little more. Bottom side of that breast, just I'm more than happy for medium rare to rare, but not blue with poultry. Now obviously I was very restrained in the oven, just so nervous about overcooking it, just through personal taste. I'm going to just quickly sear a few of these pieces. I've got my wood duck. And I'll tell you what, people were saying, oh, wood duck's a bit average. My goodness, this is beautiful. This is absolutely fantastic. It had a fair bit of fat on it too, which I was really surprised about. Oh, what a flavour. Yeah, not dry at all. I like the way I cooked that. So stoked for any suggestions that come my way about ways to do this differently, but right now, oh my goodness, not so humble wood duck. Now I got some cheap wine in a mug. So big cheers to everyone. Thanks for joining me on my 101 duck journey. It's the start of many, I hope, and I'm going to bring you a bit more of this year. So yeah, happy days.